Order accepted.
Step 2 introduces micro or unit control into your game. After step 1, you should be very comfortable with building the basic structures and producing units. When you add micro on top of macro, the result is multitasking. Your goal on this step is to multitask to your limit. Control your units to the best of your ability while not missing a beat in production. Since micro and multitasking are such a huge part of Starcraft 2, none of the other restrictions from step 1 have changed. Just adding in micro should be challenging enough. It's time to learn what you can do with marines and minerals. The extent to which you can micro units is nearly infinite. To start, we'll go over the most common ways you can get some extra mileage out of your unupgraded marines. First is a basic form of kiting I like to call scoot and shoot. There will be many instances where an attack move will block most of your marines from attacking. So, to get more damage dealt, alternate between moving toward your opponent and attacking. The best players in the world can do this very quickly for maximum damage, but even doing so slowly can make a big difference in battles. To learn more about kiting, check out our How to Kite video series. In general, it's better to be fighting from higher ground. Units on the low ground cannot see units on the high ground in StarCraft 2, so the high ground units will almost always get the first hit. On a ramp, units only gain vision of the high ground after getting past about halfway up. You can position marines just below the top of a ramp to take advantage of this. Concaves make a big difference in battles. Whenever you can, try to take fights where you have the concave and spread your army out before battle so that your units will deal maximum damage. Keep in mind that concaves are just one combat advantage. They can be overwhelmed with high number of units, better upgrades, or both. Finally, it's good to know the basic methods of dealing with splash damage. The Marine is a small, low hit point unit, so it's particularly susceptible to splash damage. Spreading out your units before a battle will help a lot, but this isn't always possible. When fighting Banelings, do your best to spread out small groups at a time during combat. This is a technique that will work much better on Step 3 when Stim is unlocked. Marine splitting versus Banelings is an extremely powerful technique, but it's difficult to master. If you're feeling particularly motivated to improve your Marine splitting, there are many maps in the arcade that will give you some deliberate practice to help you improve your technique quickly. Multitasking is one of the defining characteristics of StarCraft. Not only do great players implement micro techniques perfectly, but they also keep up with the macro elements as well. To the untrained eye, it might seem like pros are macroing and microing at the same time, but this is not the case. They're just going back and forth between micro and macro so quickly that it seems that way. This is accomplished by taking advantage of gaps where no action is required. For example, when you build a marine, there is a large gap before it's time to build another one, so use this time to micro. Whenever you retreat or when an attack move is the optimal way to engage, check your production to see if it's time to queue up another marine. With time and focus, you will begin to find more and more of these moments in the game and how to take advantage of them. Use Step 2 as a time to focus on building good habits like checking your production often and moving on to the next action as quickly as possible. Remember, win or lose, your goal is to pass. Upload your replay to ggtracker.com and check your benchmarks. If all of your benchmarks meet or exceed your league goal, you have passed. When you have passed 4 out of your last 5 games, it's time to move on to Step 3.